We're entering a new technological era, the rise of artificial intelligence. For the first time, machines could think, create, and produce at a level that once defined us. And that raises a deeper question. If a machine can outperform you, what defines your worth? During this technological revolution, some people are excited, others are afraid, and most don't know what to think. Either way, it's forcing us to confront something deeper: human identity. For many, identity has been built on productivity and success. But as AI reshapes those foundations, that identity is beginning to crack. From a Christian perspective, our identity isn't rooted in what we produce, but in who we are. We're made in the image of God, and we're created to have a relationship with Him. In this video, we'll explore how AI is challenging our identity and understand where true worth is actually found. But first, let's pause and reflect how previous technological shifts has shaped humanity. Every major leap, the Industrial Revolution, electricity, automobiles, the internet, social media, they forced people to make a choice: adapt or fall behind. When automobiles first appeared, many resisted them. Horse breeders, carriage makers, and blacksmiths, they argued that cars were dangerous, unnecessary, and just a fad. Some cities even tried to restrict them. But within a generation, entire horse-based industries collapsed, while new ones, such as auto manufacturing, highways, and the suburbs, they exploded. The people who adapted didn't just survive, they thrived. We've seen this pattern repeat again and again. Factories that refused machine adoption lost to those that embraced it. Businesses that ignored email and the internet, they became invisible. And even today, many people spend hours on tasks that could be automated in minutes. And it's almost always the same group of people that resist. People that are comfortable with how things have always been. Being resistant to change and not being willing to adapt has a cost. Your productivity declines, opportunity shrinks, and life becomes harder than it needs to be. Psychology even has a name for this: status quo bias. This is when humans naturally cling to familiar routines even when better options exist. Not because they're better, but because they feel safer. These shifts quietly decides who keeps moving forward and who gets left behind. While some jobs do disappear, more often, people don't lose their work overnight, they lose their relevance. Skills that once made someone indispensable slowly fade as the world no longer needs them the same way. And during this AI revolution, this will be more prominent than ever before. But this time, this technology shift feels different. Artificial intelligence is not just changing how we work, it's beginning to challenge how we understand human value itself. Previous technologies increased what humans could do. AI is beginning to replace what we do. For the first time, intelligence, creativity, and productivity may no longer appear uniquely human. And that brings us back to the question: if those things no longer define us, what does? Because we live in a culture that measures value by usefulness, performance, and output. We learn to define ourselves by what we accomplish and whether we're even still needed. So what happens when usefulness itself could be automated? And this is where AI becomes more than a technology story. It becomes a human story. Because this is no longer just about efficiency, it's about meaning. And that question leads somewhere deeper. The question of God. Because from a Christian perspective, human identity was never meant to be built on productivity. Before industry, before careers, before performance metrics, humanity was created in the image of God. Not first as workers, but as sons and daughters. And that changes everything. It means your value is not something you earn. It's something that you were given. Not rooted in output, but rooted in origin. You were created for relationship, for love, and for purpose. And that's why this moment matters. Because not everyone's going to respond the same way. If your identity is built on performance, a world shaped by AI won't just feel different. It's going to feel threatening. Because when machines can outperform you, the natural response is not to step back, but to adapt. And for many, that will mean enhancement. We're entering a time where humans will begin to modify themselves to keep up with the very systems they've created. Not just physically, but cognitively. Faster thinking, stronger focus, enhanced memory, direct integration with technology. And this isn't just speculation anymore. Leaders in technology are already talking about it. Brain-computer interfaces, merging with AI, even the idea of preserving or extending human consciousness beyond the body. What once felt like science fiction is quickly becoming a real conversation. And it may begin to feel like a necessity, not to get ahead, but simply to avoid falling behind. And in that world, a new divide begins to form. Those who enhance and those who don't. But not everyone responds to pressure the same way. Some would choose escape. And honestly, we're already seeing it. Social media, gaming, immersive digital worlds. Millions of people are already retreating into spaces where they feel more relevant, more capable, more seen than they do in real life. As AI accelerates, that pull will only grow stronger. Not because people are drawn to a better reality, but because the real one no longer feels like it needs them. As AI systems outperform human ability, many will begin to feel a loss of usefulness, a loss of contribution, a loss of meaning. And when reality no longer affirms your value, escape becomes incredibly attractive. Immersive digital worlds where identity is customizable, where success is programmable, where you are always needed, always relevant. And for many, that won't feel like deception. It will feel like relief. The Christian response is not to reject technology. Tools are not the problem. AI will unlock incredible breakthroughs, and I'm fascinated by it. But we must be careful not to let it redefine what it means to be human. Because our identity was never meant to come from productivity. We were made to be known, to be in a relationship with God, to be in a relationship with one another, to love and to be loved. As AI accelerates, humanity will face a choice. One path tries to preserve value through performance, constantly upgrading to keep up with machines. Another escapes into artificial worlds. But there is a third path, one that remembers human worth was never rooted in performance to begin with. It was rooted in God. So maybe the greatest question of the AI age is not whether machines become more powerful, but whether humans remember who they are. Because no machine could bear the image of God. No machine could replace the human soul. And no technology revolution can erase where human value truly comes from. God bless and take care.